Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with some more Hearthstone. Today we'll be taking a look at Darkwonyx's Control Warrior deck. He was the #1 legend on the European ladder. This deck focuses on controlling the early and mid game, sustaining yourself with plus armor, and then winning in the late game. We've got some early game control thanks to spells like Cleave as well as the Wild Pyromancer, card draw through Acolyte of Pain and Gadgetzan Auctioneer, and then some endgame finishers such as Alexstrasza and Ravenholdt Assassin. Now with the general premise out of the way, let's take a look at the deck in action. This deck has been performing absolutely phenomenally for me, which I guess shouldn't be surprising since it's what's been used by Europeans' #1 legend to sustain that rank. You actually see one of the combos in this deck right here with Alexstrasza and Ravenholdt Assassin. We don't want that in opening hand though, but you put this in play one turn, you play that the next turn with charge, and that's a kill condition right there. We are going to hold on to this though because we're playing against a rogue. I'm anticipating that he will be running some sort of a mid-range deck. That's what we're seeing a lot of rogues run. So having the Fiery War Axe, very good. We also have the Acolyte of Pain, which I like as well against this deck because there's a good chance we can get two card draws off of that. And then obviously the Wild Pyromancer plus Inner Rage. I mean, this is a pretty good hand for what we're likely facing here. Alexstrasza draw, not the greatest. We definitely don't want that early game. But c'est la vie, what are we gonna do? If we manage to push to turn 9, this could be a good play. So up until this point, we're not even gonna worry about damaging him. We're just gonna worry about focusing on his board and taking it from there, essentially. I actually think right now, I don't think it'd be a bad play to drop the Acolyte and use a coin. Now, obviously, we could just actually save the coin for the Pyromancer, so maybe I won't do that. Yeah, let's save the coin for the Pyromancer. And instead, why don't we just go ahead and armor up right now? I think that sounds like a better play to me. I didn't want a War Axe just in case he's got a acidic swamp ooze. I always want to say acidic slime, pushing myself back to the MTG days. Yeah, just in case he drops acidic swamp ooze, putting the weapon down wouldn't have been great, but getting the armor. And a lot of times, the way I've been playing this deck and has been very successful for me is once I've got board control, I just focus on armoring up and then pretty much just taking it from there. There's no reason to go too crazy or anything, you know? Just do what you gotta, but no need to overdo it. Okay. So right here, we could go with this and pop that off. We could also just go with the Acolyte of Pain and potentially get 2 card draws off of it. So this is actually an interesting position for me. Well, how about this actually? Maybe we'll use an early upgrade. I could save it as well for some Pyromancer trickery. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go like that. Not gonna upgrade quite yet, especially if he does end up swamp oozing. Yeah, not gonna worry about that. We'll just leave this as it is. We can deal with his board quite easily at any point with the Pyromancer, but I don't want to throw it all out too early though. That's the thing. I want to wait until feel like it's necessary or we're in really dire straits at some point. Next turn could even be just a bunch of armor. Oh, never mind. We're gonna get some value off of this Pyromancer. We are absolutely going to get some value off of this Pyromancer. So why don't we just go ahead and drop it? We're gonna go Pyromancer. And then, which way do I want to do this here? Oh, we can literally just clear his whole board. How about we do this? Ready? We're gonna go coin for 1 damage across the board. And then with the coin, we're going to shield block, giving ourselves a bunch of armor, plus a card draw, and then clear the rest of his board. Fantastic. We will leave our weapon because I'm not so concerned about dealing the damage to his face, especially with Alexstrasza in our hand. As long as we can sustain until that late game, we're more focused on just getting rid of his creatures, so we'll save this for any creatures he may play in the future. And yeah, just buying ourselves some time. So yeah, there you go, perfect. Now we've got something to hit with this. This deck, beyond running Execute, we also run Shield Slam. Phenomenal in this deck because there are many instances in which you have, let's take a look here. How do I want to do this? Maybe this guy. plus a upgrade. There are many instances in this game, in fact most of the time, you're sitting on surplus armor. So with that, the Shield Slam, incredibly effective. In fact, this deck is primarily spells, not a ton of creatures in this deck. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more spells in this deck than creatures. I'd say it's about somewhere around the 3/4 vicinity or 2/3 vicinity spells to minions. And again, a majority of those spells really focusing on controlling the board. That's the other thing with this deck too. It is, because it's such a late game control focused deck, expect longer games. So this might not be the best for climbing the ladder. It's gonna secure you a lot of victories, I'll tell you. It just goes so well against some. Oh, we get nothing off of him. But he used an Assassinate on an Acolyte of Pain. So we're okay with that. Sure, we get no card draw off of it, but the fact that he blew an Assassinate on that is unreal. So here's the sort of situation I'm talking about. We could do this to do some damage to him, but I'd rather just focus on sustaining, drawing into more of our combos and things like that. There's no reason to rush it. I am much more inclined to use the Elite, again, especially with our Alexstrasza. And you may wonder, well, how do you can't always count on Alexstrasza. No, you can't. This deck has plenty of other win conditions, though. The Ravenholdt Assassin, able to do a lot of damage. And if I didn't have the Alexstrasza, I would absolutely push through with this. But since I do, I'd rather just save these to eliminate creatures. I'd rather save this as 4 damage to a creature for 4. That's my primary focus. And honestly, I feel right now that we are winning this game at the moment. He's playing all these minions uncomboed, stuff like this. That is not ideal for him whatsoever. So we could actually Shield Slam. We could Shield Slam to kill that, but I might want to save my Shield Slam. No, you know what? Maybe we will start doing some. So we get 7, 8, 9. I'm trying to think about how I actually want to structure this here. So, yeah, you know what I'm actually going to do? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and armor up. We will use the Shield Slam on that. I'm gonna leave this creature in play and force him to deal with it. Force him to use comboed Eviscerate or attack into it plus Eviscerate rather than using it on me. Same thing with when we forced him to blow that Assassinate on an Acolyte of Pain. I mean, that is not good value for him, especially when he's going to be hit with some much bigger, much scarier creatures later in the game. So a great combo with Alexstrasza. We've got Alexstrasza plus charge, and then you can either use that with a Gorehowl or the Ravenholdt Assassin. You either play them the turn before or the turn after, because Alexstrasza, the effect plus the charge brings him down to 7. So both the Gorehowl and the Ravenholdt Assassin will take care of that. So that is backstab plus an attack into it. That's fine.
My shield for Argus.
Defender of Argus. Okay. So this is a bit of something. We can certainly deal with it, and we will. In fact, we can kill everything he has in play right now. Can we hold on to him? No, we're gonna end up losing him, but that's okay, because we are going to wipe his board clean. Let's go ahead and do. Yeah, we're gonna go like this, like that, and then like that. And I think I am going to drop the weapon this time, just in case he plays a creature that I want to weapon and tack into. We've got the Execute, so even if he plays something gigantic, I'm not super thrilled, to be honest with you, about using both those Shield Slams, because it's preferable to use them on huge creatures, especially since a lot of times I do have so much health, but it is okay. It could be worse. And we've got plenty of other ways to get damage through to him. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the charge here. Which is a bit surprising because we are running 2 charges in the deck. But here we go. Here we go, something for him to deal with. Now, question for me becomes, do I want to get rid of that to drop that extra 1 damage? Well, he probably has 4, then a combo to Eviscerate to kill this thing anyways, so I think we'll just leave it for now. And you know what, I could kill that actually. How about we do that? We're gonna get rid of that, and then we'll finish it off with an Inner Rage. This eliminates the easy 4 for him. Actually would have been even more eviscerate damage because of that spell power. So now he's less likely to be able to kill this unless he drops another Assassinate on it. Okay, there's an Azor Drake. A comboed Eviscerate would be 5 damage here. I don't think he's played Eviscerate so far this game, so we'll have to see. I'm assuming he has them. At least one. But that won't be enough to, oh, he's going for my face, what? There's a comboed Perdition's Blade for 2 damage, brings it down to 6, and then a comboed Eviscerate plus a Novice Engineer attack will finish it. So let's see, he should have that. Oh no, an Acolyte of Pain. Are you serious? I mean, not an Acolyte of Pain, what am I talking about? Oh, there, no, he's got 4, but no, that's not enough either. Okay, so he's going to be racing me right now. He is going for the race. Well, I'm pretty sure I win that race, my friend.
I will mourn your death.
Let's go for the attack for his face. We can Acolyte of Pain.
Speak to me.
Can go like this, and what do I want to do with that weapon attack? I'm actually not sure yet. So I've got no spell. I mean, the only thing I can't use this right now. So I could if I damage that. Ooh, you know what? Here we go. We're gonna check out this. Ready? We're gonna drop the Pyromancer. We are going to attack into his 4/4. We're going to execute the 4/4, triggering our Wild Pyromancer, drawing a card off of the Acolyte of Pain, and also dropping that guy's shield. The draw card is an Inner Rage. With the Inner Rage, we could kill something. Actually, we'd kill a lot of things, and we get another card draw. So we're going to go ahead and Inner Rage, and actually, should I do this to him? Now, let's do it to this guy. We're going to get the rest of the card draws off that. So there's Inner Rage. There we go. I'm gonna pop that, blow everyone up, draw another card now. Get rid of his board. Draw a card off the Novice Engineer. Holy moly. Oh boy. What a turn. What a turn. Now we're up to 16. We have this guy. He is gonna get dropped right now.
We must cleanse
because
the
of this.
Sunwell.
Okay. And, ooh, you know what? It's actually, as amazing of a turn as it was, we don't necessarily have this game. That's actually, that makes a big difference. Here's a Cleave. And then finish that guy off with this. There's just so much value in this deck, but it is still anyone's game. Now, the charge will be nice. There's a couple of creatures I could draw into at this point, which that would work well with. Gadgetzan Auctioneer, Sylvanas, we've got Black Knight, we've got Ravenholdt Assassin. So let's see how this goes. Down to the wire here. I'm still feeling pretty confident, but you know, it doesn't, okay, here it is. Wow. All right, well, the finisher, Ravenholdt Assassin with a charge and for the victory. All right, well, that was a game. A very good display as well of how this deck functions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck list. Darkwonyx's Control Warrior deck focuses on controlling the early game, sustaining with plus armor, and winning in the late game. The last game you just watched was literally, I think, a perfect example of how this deck plays. I mean, obviously, you know, it was good. All right, starting off here, we've got 2 charges at the top. Synergizes so well for combo finishers with Alexstrasza plus charge. If you have a Ravenholdt Assassin in play, there's a victory right there. And then charge just also works very well for, the reason he's running 2 is because it works so very well for the board control. But besides an endgame combo, something like, you know, playing Gadgetzan Auctioneer, running the charge, getting a card draw off of it, and then charging to take out an opposing creature. Doing a charge on a Sylvanas. Amazing, because you get to pop off a creature right away and potentially also steal a creature if it dealt enough damage for it. We've got the Inner Rage, just such a multifaceted card. You can use it to pick off your opponent's creatures. You can use it to pump up your own creature for some extra damage. You can use it to trigger your Acolyte of Pain. It can be used to trigger your Wild Pyromancer. It just fits very well in this deck. Only a single execute. I could see someone running a second one though if you were more comfortable with that, but one execute has been working fine, especially with all the card draw in this deck. Shield Slam. You saw last game how much armor you can have up to. There have been games consistently where I'm getting up to 20 plus armor, so Shield Slam very effective at popping off creatures. We've got the upgrade either for pumping up your own weapons or getting an early weapon to pop off opposing creatures. If you're facing aggro decks, that's what you might want to do. Fiery War Axe, great against aggro. Cleave and Slam, great against aggro. Also, with all these spells, remember, Wild Pyromancer, lots of triggers here in this top half of the deck list. Novice Engineer, it's just value. It's a 1/2 creature. 1 damage, potentially 2 damage to early game creatures, and you get the card draw off of it as well. Wild Pyromancer, remember, we're focusing on eliminating the early game. Aggro Warlock decks, I've been doing very well against them, and I think you can imagine why. But beyond all of this, topping it off with Wild Pyromancer works very well. The shield block, remember, sustain, sustain, sustain. It's just think of it as gain 5 life, draw a card for 3. That's good. That is very good. Acolyte of Pain, as we've talked about, as you saw, you can get lots of card draw off of this. The Kor'kron Elite. Now, you can use this as a swing to the face, but I found many times I'm using it to pop off opponents' creatures. It's just been more effective that way. There's the Brawl against Swarm decks. Gadgetzan Auctioneer for the card draw. Only one of those, though. A Sylvanas. It's a Sylvanas. A Black Knight, especially effective for popping off your endgame combo with Alexstrasza, getting rid of any big taunters that may be in play. There's the Gorehowl. Again, combos here with Alexstrasza. Same with the Ravenholdt Assassin. It's a great finisher. It's not the only finisher. It's not the only way to kill your opponent, but that's pretty much how the deck looks. All right, guys, that's going to do it, guys. Thanks so much for watching here. This deck spotlight of Darkwonyx's Control Warrior deck. Stay tuned for tomorrow, as I'll be doing a gameplay video. We'll play about 2 to 3 games. Probably going to be a longer video. Actually, it might only be 2 games just because of how long games with this deck tend to be. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.